The MTC Report, the news behind the news with journalist Mark Taylor-Canfield. We offer you independent voices and underreported stories about topics you won't hear anywhere else. Join us as we delve into the deeper issues behind the news stories of the day on the MTC Report.
The new president is a creep, and he should be held accountable for what he says.
And I'm here because I want to make sure that he hears that we're not happy with the plans that he's laid out for the changes he's planning to make to women's rights.
Welcome to the MTC Report.
This is Mark Taylor-Canfield, and I'm at Westlake Center in downtown Seattle, where protesters have been gathering to demonstrate against the inauguration of Donald Trump. Local media estimated 15,000 people would be here today. I see no reason to dismiss that estimate. There are thousands of people here. The crowd has filled the park to capacity, so as far as the eye can see. So demonstrations have been going on here all day long since this morning, about 10 o'clock, when a bunch of students walked out as part of a national walkout against Trump. And so there have been multiple marches and multiple rallies and all sorts of community meetings that are happening tonight to address resistance to the Donald Trump administration.
My name is Claudine Boligi-Pelani-Nako. I am here because I think that it's important to have our voices be heard right now, more than ever, and coming out in numbers, not just with the people here in Seattle, but across the country, and making the new regime know that we will not be silenced, and that we are watching, and that we are paying attention, and that we care, most importantly, about our country. That means everything to me. So, yeah.
This is Mark Taylor-Canfield, and this is the MTC Report. I blog at Daily Kos. I'm contributing editor for Democracy Watch News. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I'm also a guest columnist at the Capitol Hill Times, and I'm a weekly guest every Tuesday at 12:30 Pacific Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Jeff Santos Show on the Revolution Radio Network. So I wanted to give you a quick presentation of some of the protests that have been going on since the Trump administration. These women's marches around the planet have been incredible. They have far surpassed any of the expectations in terms of attendance. We have hundreds of thousands of people here in Seattle. At least 130,000 people marched. The march lasted all day. It took hours and hours for people to get to Seattle Center from Judkins Park. All around the country, this has been happening. Over 670 marches around the globe. And so I have to put this question out there. Are women leading this new social revolution, especially in the United States? I would say at this point the answer is yes. There have also been other protests here. There is the traditional Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration that takes place in Seattle, sponsored by the MLK Celebration Committee. That had thousands and thousands of people attending. There was a student walkout and other events on Inauguration Day in downtown Seattle at Westlake Center. There was a major gathering. There was, unfortunately, also a big confrontation out at the University of Washington. So that turned into a nasty clash where at least one person was seriously injured with life-threatening injuries due to a gunshot wound.
Start marching again. Okay?
for most of this MTC report, I'm going to devote it to video that I shot and things that happened on the streets here in Seattle, and some of my interviews with people, and footage from the protests. So, incredible day in Seattle on the Women's Day March on January 21st. No one expected 120,000 people. The local media predicted 15,000. That shows you how out of touch they are with what's happening in this country. So here we go. This is the MTC Report. I'm Mark Taylor-Canfield, and thanks for joining us. I'm also going to throw in a song here, I think, about Donald Trump. So stay tuned. It's an original song that I've been working on called You Got Trumped. Let me give you an idea of the official numbers according to U.S. Uncut. In Washington, D.C., estimated attendance for the Central March, 500,000. That was Washington, D.C., where the main Women's March on Washington was happening. In Los Angeles, organizers expected 80,000 people to attend. 750,000 showed up, outnumbering even the march in Washington, D.C. So that was mind-blowing. The photos are just incredible, folks, of hundreds of thousands of people hitting the streets. If this was any other country, of course, the United States would be calling it a revolution. In Chicago, estimates for attendance ranged from 150,000 to 250,000. Organizers had originally expected 50,000 and had to hold a stationary rally because they could not fit the crowds through their planned parade route, which is something that also happened in Seattle. Denver, Colorado, estimated attendance 100,000 to 150,000. It's crazy, folks. We've never seen these numbers before. Seattle, one of the estimates, Cairo Television News is saying 130,000. Well, it's hard to tell. It could have been double that number or more, because there's no real good way to estimate, but this is the best people can do. Boston, estimated attendance 135,000 to 150,000 people. London, England, UK, estimated attendance 100,000. Portland, Oregon, estimated attendance 100,000. I would have never expected that from Portland. It's a small city. Toronto, Canada, estimated attendance between 50,000 and 60,000. So it's going on all over the world. Austin, Texas, 40,000. St. Louis, over 10,000. Sydney, Australia, 10,000. Even Palm Beach, 7,000. So it's crazy, folks. I've never seen any march this large before.
You got trumped. Man, you got pumped. Yeah, you've been trumped. Well, you've been trumped. Yeah, you've been trumped. Well, you dated this for years, but he brought you all to tears, and you got trumped. You got trumped. Yeah, you got trumped.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's in love with black beauty. We got trumped. Spain, well, you got Trump, and I got Trump. It's a noisy, horny student, he's in love with black. We got Trump, I got Trump.
Better, brighter future for themselves and for their family.
Don't go anywhere. The MTC Report with Mark Taylor-Canfield continues next.
How have you been feeling since the inauguration? And has this event helped you feel a little better, being around so many people? How is that?
Well, it was just yesterday, so frankly, I didn't watch. I read the what's it called? I read the speech. I didn't watch the televised live version, but I read what he had to say, and I appreciate some of it, and I appreciate the calls to unity in whatever way that he chose to phrase them. However, I want to see action and not talk. And yeah, I mean, I feel hopeful seeing all of these people out here in such large numbers. I feel hopeful, but I hope that what's happening here today goes beyond today, and that it's not just about making a cool sign and marching in the streets and shouting some songs and feeling good about yourself for this moment that is very fiery. You know, it feels like something's been ignited in the city right now. I hope this doesn't die down. I hope the fire keeps going, and I hope that people continue to stay woke and to stay active and to to do whatever you have to do. Call your congresspeople, write letters, vote. I would love to believe that everybody who came out to march here today voted, but I don't think that that's true. And I think that that's really sad. It's, all of these voices here and across the country that are coming out now and saying that this is not the kind of leadership that we want, that's going to take us forward in a positive way, and that's going to unite the country and all the different parts of the country and all the different people that make up this beautiful country. You got to vote. There's no other way to say it. You have to vote, you have to register, and you have to
We're in a fight right now.
Yeah.
Can I see the other side of your sign?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything more you want to say to folks out there about what happened here today, or what your hopes for the future are?
Just keep doing it. And you're going to get tired. I got tired for a while after the election. But we have to pull each other up, and we have to rise. Yeah, and vote.
Yes, it is kind of telling that only 47% of registered voters actually voted, and only 25% actually elected Trump. So between that and the Electoral College, it's very difficult to explain to people in other parts of the world that we have a democracy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Even as a reporter, Walter Cronkite was one of my heroes. In his autobiography, he questions whether we have a democracy. When you have that low of a voter turnout compared to other countries, it's pretty hard to say that. But thank you so much, so I appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere. The MTC Report with Mark Taylor-Canfield continues next.
This is Mark Taylor-Canfield, and I'm reporting live from Seattle Center for the Seattle Women's March. Do you guys mind giving your names, or it's up to you?
I'm Catherine, and we're here because the new president is a creep, and he should be held accountable for what he says.
And I'm here because I want to make sure that he hears that we're not happy with the plans that he's laid out for the changes he's planning to make to women's rights. It's our body, it should be our decision. Don't take that choice away from us.
Why did you specifically choose that sign? What would you like to say about why you chose that?
With certain things that he's said that have been captured on tape, and the way that he's treated women in general, it really is disgusting. We are people, we are not just objects for him to toy with. And the fact that he thinks it's okay to say the things that he says and to try to legislate certain things and get rid of our rights is wrong. We need to stand up for ourselves, and he's not going to do that.
How do you guys feel about the crowd today and the feeling of celebration here? Are you enjoying it? Does it feel better being around other folks?
This crowd is the perfect example that when people say that protests can't be peaceful, they absolutely can be. There are hundreds of thousands of different beliefs and views that are here today, but we decided to look past all that. We want to unify as one. We want to work together as one people, as the American people. Whether you're here because you're supporting the immigration laws, the women's rights, it doesn't matter. You're a part of our circle of love, and we're going to work together.
Beautiful. Well, is there any last thing you would like to say to the audience about why you're here and your wishes for women in America today?
Just don't give up. Just never stop fighting. It's maybe one small thing, but you can keep fighting just yourself, and you will move around with it.
We can reach equality. That's all I want to say. We can reach equality.
The MTC Report, the news behind the news with journalist Mark Taylor-Canfield. We offer you independent voices and underreported stories about topics you won't hear anywhere else. Join us as we delve into the deeper issues behind the news stories of the day on the MTC Report.